is giving a preview of the election manifesto. The party is promised an event that will be the most memorable festival of the working class. They're giving brief snippets on what to expect from the manifesto and insights into their priorities for the year. So to give us more on this, we're joined now by my colleague, reporter Muloko Moloto. Muloko, I know that you are somewhere in Pretoria this evening ahead of that EFF manifesto that will be taking place at the Giant Stadium in Soshanguve. But tonight we've got the EFF that is hosting a gala dinner, so to say.
Well, that is very true, Faith. I mean, we see this happening with many political parties. For instance, the African National Congress as well. We see in instances where they host such gala dinners, you will have people even paying millions of rand just to sit next to the party president. Even with the EFF now, they are hosting this gala dinner. And my guess is that the Commander-in-Chief, Mr. Julius Malema of the EFF, will sort of like set the tone for tomorrow as they will be launching their manifesto for the upcoming elections. And yes, the EFF is contesting these elections for the first time. You remember that they first contested in 2014 and they did make a mark because they became the third largest political party in South Africa, and they are represented in all the provincial legislatures, and in some of the provinces they are the official opposition. Now this year they have coined a theme wherein they are saying they are contesting these elections under the theme that says our land, our jobs, now. So I'm going to bring into this conversation Hlengiwe Mkhaliphi, who is the Deputy Secretary General of the EFF. Ms. Mkhaliphi, thank you so much for agreeing to speak to us. Firstly, the theme of your elections. Why did you theme it along the land and the job issues?
Because we have the land issue, it has been in the agenda in South Africa because of EFF. Remember that we have put a motion in Parliament, and the motion was also agreed by the ruling party, which is the ANC. So that motion on land expropriation without compensation now is in front of Parliament. There are processes to take over our land. So we feel that our land, our jobs, because once we have land, it means that we are able to create jobs in South Africa for those who are unemployed.
I'm sure a lot of people will agree that they have noticed the achievement that you have made with regard to land. But when it comes to jobs, we know that in South Africa there are 6.2 million people who are actively looking for jobs. And a lot of people will agree that this has reached crisis proportions. What are the interventions that you're going to be putting in place to ensure that there's job creation?
Well, there are jobs that need to be reserved for South Africans. You remember one of the crises in South Africa is that the labor laws does not protect the South Africans. So anyone coming from the outside from the country and is looking for the jobs then can be done by South Africans. So you find that our laws, our labor laws does not protect us as South Africans. So we are also earmarking for those jobs, especially like the cleaners, securities, and the jobs from garages and all those type of jobs. You remember that in Tshwane, EFF is in Kingmaker, in Tshwane, in Joburg, and in Nelson Mandela. So we have put a motion on those two municipalities, which is Johannesburg and Tshwane. So by doing that, we have managed to insource some workers, especially the security guards of Tshwane. 4,500 security guards of Tshwane have been insourced because of EFF motion, as well as in Johannesburg. So I think it's around 9,000 job securities have been insourced in Johannesburg because of the intervention of EFF. But let alone about your questions, the Commander-in-Chief tomorrow is going to put into details. That's why we are having our manifesto tomorrow in Giant Stadium.
Thank you, Mkhaliphi is the Deputy Secretary General of the EFF, and I must indicate that the EFF it believes that the young people who are in the majority are going to put it in government. The question is, how are they going to convince those who are undecided and those who are apathetic to come out and vote in large numbers to put them in government? Faith?
Well, Muloko, thank you very much for sharing those insights ahead of that EFF manifesto launch in Soshanguve tomorrow. Coming up at